He said he won. People that fight was more. It wasn't close. Everybody had 117, 111, and the fight was 15-13.
That's what he had 15-13. Floyd Mayweather put $10,000 on you. 52,000. Huh? Floyd Mayweather put 10K on Bivol D. Of course he did. No. Did you hear me? Mayweather bet 10 grand on you.
Good morning. In less than 10 minutes, we're going to have the first announcement press conference for Dmitry Bivol, WBA super champion at 175 pounds, to face mandatory challenger Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez, former 168-pound WBO champion. It is 9:21 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, August the 31st, 2022. Welcome to the show. So, on my podcast, the Fight View 360 Boxing Podcast, we do exclusive content, but we also produce media events. So, for example, I provide commentary over press conferences. Some of them are going to be boring. Some of them are going to be lit. Some of them are going to be just like confusing, like yesterday's in-person Zoom virtual press conference from the Barclays Center for Deontay Wilder and Robert Helenius. That is also on the podcast, and that is also on the YouTube channel. T-Street Controversy. So, where do we begin? The press conference is going to be starting in about 8 minutes or so. It's taking place in Abu Dhabi. The fight is taking place in Abu Dhabi. The Etihad Arena, it was officially announced yesterday. We knew that Matchroom was trying to get Joshua Buatsi and Dmitry Bivol the fight, but the WBA had ordered Bivol to fight Gilberto Ramirez. Bivol and Matchroom filed an exemption, like, yo, all right, cool, y'all want us to fight him, but, can you let us fight Buatsi first? Then we fight Ramirez. The WBA said no, which is good. I'm all for it, because I want the WBA, enforce your mandatories. And if you don't know, the WBA is in some shit. They may be losing funding. Well, they're in some deep trouble to where they can lose sanctioning in the United States, mostly because of all their mumbo jumbo with the bets. There may have been some tampering, reports and rumors of basically allegedly that if you were to throw the WBA, some money, that can get you some favorable rankings. That's pretty much, what's being alleged. So they have to do everything right. The fact that the fight is taking place in Abu Dhabi, that right there tells me, like, yo, some big money in this joint, And the Saudis, even just in the Middle East, it's not Saudis, but in the Middle East in general, they're really doing their best between Abu Dhabi, and Saudi Arabia to attract, more tourism. They want to, become, one of, if not the best tourism attractions in the world. And now that it's become a stable community, where there's no war and, conflict, they're like, all right, cool, let's throw this money around. All that shit is over now. Let's get people out here. But this is pretty much a fight where it's taking place. I've seen some fans, talk about how the fight should take place in California. I was like, okay, all right, I get that. But in this day and age, and it's for the fighters, secure them the most money. If you got the Saudi Arabians, or Abu Dhabi, the Arab money, let's just say Arab money. If they throwing all this money around, like, you better get that for your fighters. You see what I'm saying? That's why I have, some issues with certain promotional entities or broadcasters or whatever, where like they tell fighters to turn down guaranteed money. Like, what is you doing out here? For like allegiances and all that. Doesn't make any sense. Well, anyway, the fight's going to be taking place November the 5th. It is going to be on the DAZN. It is a DAZN broadcast fight. It is a really good fight. Zurdo Ramirez, let me pull up his resume here. I'm tripping. I don't know why I didn't have it up. Zurdo Ramirez is a 6'3". I met him before, but I forgot where. I want to believe it was in, I don't know where. Was it in Atlantic City? I met him at an event. He is 44-0 with 30 KOs, 31 years old. He's listed on BoxRec at 6'2.5", a southpaw. My only real gripe with him is, and I like Jesse Hart. I really do. You know, I've talked to him, probably interviewed him, you know, more than anyone else I've ever interviewed in life on the channel. Him and Katie Taylor. Ironically, I've interviewed Katie Taylor 4 different times in 4 different places. Like, that's crazy. But he did struggle that first fight with Jesse Hart. You dig what I'm saying? That's my gripe. And if you struggle with Jesse Hart, that means, yo, you know, Gilberto Ramirez can beat you. I mean, excuse me, Dmitry Bivol can beat you. So, former WBO champion at 168 pounds. He was fighting with Top Rank. Left Top Rank. I do feel personally he should have stayed with Top Rank instead of going to Golden Boy. Because remember, he had some periods of inactivity and fights that didn't really mean anything. And if it wasn't for the WBA being in their shit, the shit that they're going through, I'm not confident he would have got his title shot. They was already trying to not give it to him. Meaning Matchroom and Eddie Hearn tried to go another route. Who's currently the handler of Bivol. I guess it's a fight-by-fight thing, but they're working together nonetheless. They are the promoter. So when you look at Ramirez's resume, you know, after Jesse Hart, Tommy Carpinti, Afonso Lopez, Sullivan Barrera, and the Yunieski Gonzalez fights. Both of those fights right there, those were like 3 to 4 years too late. I'm thinking like, damn, the Sullivan Barrera fight would have been cool like fucking in 2018. Same thing with the Yunieski Gonzalez fight. That would have been a good fight back in 2017. You kind of see where I'm going with this? So he fought both of those guys. He fought Sullivan Barrera in July of 2021, last year. And then in December, he fought, of 2021, he fought Yunieski Gonzalez. Both of those fights, he stopped both of them. Of course he should have. Dominic Bozel was his last fight in May of this year. Stopped him. So he's been fighting like C-level fighters or fighters past their, you know, like long in the tooth. A little too long. And it's like, you know what? I don't think he would be in a situation if he was with Top Rank because look, right now they got a fighter who they've been getting fights for, even though he's been having like some significant injury issues over the last like few years. Archibald Tabiev, who currently holds the WBC, IBF, Ring Magazine, and WBO championships. Last fight beating Joe Smith Jr. And he was supposed to fight Anthony Yard in October and November, but he's dealing with some type of injury. I forgot exactly what injury it is. So that fight's being pushed back. Gonzalez gave him some troubles. Okay, all right, but you know, can we agree? Dark Destroyer says Yunieski Gonzalez gave him some trouble. But can we agree that fight is at least it could have happened, it should have happened 5 years ago. You know, but he wasn't at 175. Okay, all right, meaning Gilberto. But it's a fight that overall, it's just at least, you know, 3 years too late. So this resume is not impressive at all. I'm just looking like, okay, like, you know, I guess the question I'm asking is, would, you know, he had a better run if he would have stayed with Top Rank? Because it looks like, and the rumors were, and, you know, the talks in the back, is that he left Top Rank because the zone was throwing around a lot of money and he was trying to get some of it. And correct me if I'm wrong, but there was a rumor circulating around, you know, internet shit, is that like he kind of priced himself out of the zone deal. And then he had that inactivity. And then that's when Golden Boy signed him up like, all right, bro, all right, cool, we got you. We'll hook you up. You know what I'm saying? So here, let me pull up Dmitry Bivol's record. One thing, I've never been a gambler. I don't even know how to play Uno. I know how to play, but I don't, off the top of my head, you have to tell me the rules. No ID clear war. No motherfucking pinochle. No pity pat. I don't know how to play none of that shit. Even when it comes to slot machines, I've never been like a gambler. None of it. But if there's one fight, 2 fights actually, but this one really hurt the most, I wish I would have put some money down on Bivol. Even if it was just a little something, just a little taste to get to wet my beak, you know, to put a little $25 down, something. Because I said, yo, man, you know, and I'm not too confident about picks. But I thought to myself, like, bro, like Canelo, like he went too far. He gonna be fighting a young, natural 175-pound Eastern European fighter. European fighter, like, bro. You know, like, and I was like, big balls on Canelo, because if he would have beat Bivol, I would have said that was the biggest win of his career because of the accomplishment of beating such a, you know, decorated boxer. You see what I'm saying? Dmitry Bivol, 20-0 with 11 KOs. My issue was with Bivol, and even he showed that with Canelo, but it worked to his favor, is that he don't have that extra gear. You know, there's been fighters like Umar Salamov where he didn't have to go the distance, you know, screaming at the TV like, bro, turn it up. You can stop him. Craig Richards, bro, turn it up. You can stop him. Gilbert Rivera, bro, turn it up. You can stop him. Joe Smith Jr. Well, Joe Smith Jr. had to hit him with some shit. I forgot what round that was, that had him really questioning reality. But when he fought Canelo, you know, he fights very cautious. He won't take chances. And you can tell, you know, and he even acknowledged it, that Canelo was trying to bait him in. You know, when Canelo would go to the ropes, the hit he would send to, but Bivol would never engage. And Bivol, he knew that Canelo was going to try to beat up his arms. So he took them arm shots, and still, like, Canelo was taking a school. And Canelo would lose again in a rematch, in my opinion. But I was like, yo, between that and the first Joshua fight, Joshua Usyk won, people were like, yo, you know, Usyk too small. And I'm like, yo, this dude ain't no joke. You know, and look, 2 fights later, Joshua losing, having meltdowns, and it's nothing wrong with having a meltdown. You know, I've had a meltdown multiple times. So that shit will humble you. That shit will humble you. It'll make you go back like, damn, man, I should have kept that shit to myself, huh? But then you go back and reflect like, yo, man, I got fucking big balls. So you go, Joshua. But this fight right here between Bivol and Ramirez, the one thing for sure is Zurdo can box. He can box. Is it true? Now, when you listen to him, and everybody I've heard like talk about him, they say he's got a heart of gold. Gilberto, Zurdo Ramirez. But is it true that he was a Sicario? You know, they talk about that shit. You know? Sinaloa. But you know, that's the pass. I got a pass too. Don't worry, Zurdo, you cool in my book. We're waiting for this press conference to start. It's going to start any moment. But yeah, let's go back down memory lane. Since we're here, we got a little bit of time to chew the fat. I want you to listen to the decision and what he had to say to here. Let me go. Okay, here we go. Let's start right here. Oh, by the way, take your time out, like the video, subscribe. The press conference is going to be starting momentarily. You know how they get. They'll say it starts at 9:30, and then before you know it, it'll pop on like 9:37, some shit like that. But in the meantime, I got a nice little bit of quality filler for you. So take your time out, like the video, subscribe. Also, my podcast. Once again, we are available on all platforms. We are on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Audible, Stitcher, iHeart. That was racist? That's not racist. Franco says that was racist. It can't be racist because I'm Mexican. Like, how's that racist? I told y'all, like, I'm half black, I'm half Irish, and I'm half full-blooded Mexican. You know, I've checked my ancestry.com. So, you know, they got your DNA and shit. But anyway, let's go back down memory lane. And take your time out, like the video, subscribe, and leave a review or comment on your podcast listening platforms. It's the Fight View 360 boxing podcast. But listen to this. Let's go back down memory lane before they start.
of action here in Las Vegas, we go to the judges' scorecards. Tim Sheenham, Dave Moretti, and Steve Waxwell all score this bout identically, 115 to 113. For your winner, by unanimous decision, he's still undefeated and still the WBA light heavyweight champion of the world, Dmitry Bivol.
Way over here. Dmitry, show me your smile. Sorry, I broke your plan. That's okay. No problem. You deserve it.
It's a great performance from Dmitry Bivol. He boxed the absolute perfect fight. 115, 113, I think fair. Look to do it again in September.
What up, Notion? The stream just popped on for the presser, so it's going to be starting soon. So once again, it'd be great if you guys could leave a like. Remember, this weekend, it's a busy week. I'm going to be putting up content on the YouTube channel and podcast all week. It's Luis Ortiz, Andy Ruiz fight week, Sunday night pay-per-view here in the States. It's a Sunday night pay-per-view this Sunday. Andy Ruiz and Luis Ortiz is fighting. That shit caught up on us, right? So I'm going to be covering that all week. So just to let you know that. Also, what else? There's some other things before the press conference started. I forgot I was supposed to tell you guys. We got a lot of media events coming up. Next week, Savannah Marshall and Clarissa Shields is here. I'm hyped for that. Liam Smith is also fighting this weekend. But let's listen to a little bit more of this. Well, here we are. They're starting. All right, we'll talk after the press conference. Take your time out. Like the video. Subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. And be sure to download the FightView 360 Boxing Podcast. Thanks for watching.
From the four corners of the world, to the four corners of this ring, the fight starts now!
Oh, yeah, I got to mute that music. That's the music that get me in trouble. It'd be little stuff like that I have to deal with each video and each stream that you guys don't know. I put in a lot of work. Oh, this is not as glamorous as the Joshua Usyk press conference. They're in some conference room. Remember, it looked like they were in a TV studio for Joshua 2 press conferences. Oh, that guy right there, he must be the money. Salah Muhammad El Jaziri sitting there talking to Eddie Hearn. All right, I'm going to turn it up. That must be the money guy right there. Look at Eddie Hearn, the way he's looking at him. Hey, let's turn it down, talk for a little bit. So the fighters are not on the stage yet. Just my man Twilight, Joe Markowski's over there. No, he Batman now. No, I'm going to still call him Twilight. You got Eddie Hearn, and some, I'm guessing you got, you know, a Arabian guy. Respectfully, I don't know, you know, and he's the money. Okay, we're seeing the fighters come to the stage. Clearly, he's the money. Look how Eddie's got that eye contact. All right, they're about to start. You got Bivol, and that's Vadim. I've met him too. Vadim, I first found out about him. He translates for Viktor Postol and Ruslan Provodnikov. So he's basically like their manager. He's Bivol's manager as well. But I'm kind of silly like that. So when I first saw him, like he used to look all pale and I thought he was a fucking vampire. I was like, why does this guy look so vampiric? Just like Usyk. Usyk used to scare me too. This was before he started fighting on HBO. I did like a whole binge of his fights and started like watching his interviews and everything. And I was like, oh, he's doing that shit to try to scare people. So we're waiting for Zurdo to get on the stage. This press conference is taking place in Abu Dhabi, by the way. And I'm guessing, you know, they're out there to finalize some final business with the purses. And of course, they got to pay homage to the people who are paying them. But since it's out there, I won't be surprised if both of these fighters are making at least $5 million apiece guaranteed. And knowing the way that they've been throwing money around over there in the Middle East, I wouldn't be surprised if they're making like $10 million apiece, if I'm being honest. I don't think it would be more than that, but it's definitely some big money involved. Look at that eye contact. That's the money man. Eddie Hearn is not breaking that eye contact. But what's going on with you guys, man? How you guys feel about the fight this week? Ruiz, Luis Ortiz. It's on a Sunday night, but Labor Day is the next day, you know, so a holiday, so they know people are going to be, you know, in the house. And then the kids officially are back in school that Tuesday. Zurdo just walked on the stage, big as hell. Dude is huge, but when you see him in person, like he really is like long, like, you know, like his arms, he just tower over you. And I'm 6'3", 6'2.5". All right, they're starting. Take your time out. Like the video, subscribe.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a historical press conference here in Abu Dhabi. November 5th, our first event here, Abu Dhabi, the Champions Series, an incredible main event, the WBA Light Heavyweight World Championship between Dmitry Bivol and Zurdo Ramirez. As I said, a historic moment for Abu Dhabi, the DCT, for Matchroom Boxing, as well as we build a long-term partnership here of global, high-profile world championship fights. And as I said, I believe November 5th, the start of such an exciting future in what has become the global sports hub here in Abu Dhabi. This fight, of course...
He said the same shit about Saudi Arabia.
You know, normally in the UK, I'll get booed. So I thank you for the claps. You may boo me one day, but for now, the claps are much appreciated. But this is, as I said, an iconic moment, and we want to thank so many different people. Of course, the DCT. We want to thank 11 as well, our partners here, and Nora and the team. Frank Smith, who's done such a great job. There's been a lot of work that's gone into this process. We are about building long-term partnerships with outstanding partners and great people to work with. You've seen across the NBA, you've seen across the UFC, Dana White and the team couldn't speak more highly of everybody involved in their relationship with Abu Dhabi. And for us as a business, this is just the start of just a new world of boxing here in the Middle East and in Abu Dhabi. So, of course, talking about the main event, this man here to my right, who just a few months ago shocked the world by beating Canelo Alvarez in Las Vegas. It was an incredible performance. The pound-for-pound #1 stepped up to challenge Dmitry Bivol, and Dmitry Bivol put in an incredible performance. Now stands at 20 wins, no defeats. But what about this guy here? 44 fights.
Yes, I've lost 30 pounds.
Zurdo Ramirez, the former super middleweight world champion. These are the kind of fights that we need to see. An incredible...
2,500 calories a day.
We announced that Joe Caldina,
Less than 3,000, let's say that. And I'm doing about 6 miles a day in the gym.
Challenger Rakimov as well on the card, and the undisputed women's light welterweight world championship, Chantel Cameron against Jessica McCaskill. They're the first 3 fights announced for November the 5th in the stunning Etihad Arena. His Excellency, welcome, and we can't thank you enough for your partnership, the amazing work that you guys have done here recently in sports, of course, and now the journey begins for Abu Dhabi and boxing.
I told you, that's the money man right there. How much do you think he's worth? Maybe three trillion?
Thank you very much, Eddie. I can't express how happy we are for all of you to be here. And,
Oil tycoon?
And this happiness is on a personal note because we've made new friends of Abu Dhabi, but also on a professional level where our partnership today and the announcement we're doing today is a milestone for Abu Dhabi within what we are planning for the rest of the future. Today, Abu Dhabi positioning itself as an events hub in the international world is a very important statement. And in the vertical of sports, Abu Dhabi's done a great job with partnering with perfect international brands, whether it's the NBA, whether it's the UFC, as you rightly mentioned, whether it's the T20 in cricket, and so on and so forth. But with the boxing world, we are very pleased to be partners with Matchroom.
Look at his skin. It's immaculate.
Normally, whenever you start a certain vertical, you always want to start it with a big bang. And I think the fight that has been just announced is a fight that everyone has been waiting for. I think it's one of the first times you actually have combined over 60 fights to 0. And how could we have started with anything better than this? So thank you very much for putting this together. When we look at the calendar of sports, we also look at positioning Abu Dhabi as a destination where events take place. So when you look at the facilities we've got, I think, Eddie, you've heard what Dana said earlier on today, and how partners that we've been dealing with across the different verticals look at Abu Dhabi as a destination where, yes, we're more than confident we can have an international event of this size with no issues whatsoever. And that's something we need to make sure will go across the board. So you've got our full support, whether it's in terms of the event facilities, whether it's in terms of the logistics. You're in the middle between East and West. You don't need to worry about how will your visitors or how will your partners reach those events. We're right in the middle. Connectivity, rooms, facilities within the destination, that's all there.
Yo, shut up.
What's
Y'all
even nicer is when you come and say, yes, come and attend the event, but you know what? Outside of that event as well, there is so much that you can do. So where around the world can you actually wake up in the morning, have the best beaches and the best waters that you can enjoy, go out and have lunch at some of the top restaurants in whichever culinary vertical that you like, go out and shop, take your kids to a theme park that they will never forget, and then come and watch such an important event that only happens in specific places of the world, all that in one day. You want to be a bit more...
Y'all think he plays the piano?
Look at the cultural sector. Where can you get museums and cultural sites that Abu Dhabi has all within one destination? Where can you get family-oriented activities in literally a drive of 10 minutes away from each other? Shopping, adventure, whether you want to go out in the desert and have some fun on the dunes. Everything is there, so having that variety of activities outside the event also supports these international partners to come in and say, you know what, we're doing our events in Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi is going to become the event hub of the world, whether it's in the sport vertical, whether it's in the entertainment vertical, whether it's in business tourism vertical as well. I won't take too much of your time, but Eddie, I just want to say that we are really happy to start this partnership and looking at something that's going to last.
Look at the way Eddie looking at him.
You've got our full support. And
the guy's mesmerizing.
Good luck. You've got our support as well. We want you to enjoy Abu Dhabi. We want you to have a good fight. And after the fight, we want to sit together on the same table and have dinner. Thank you.
That is like the nicest guy in the world. Come on.
Thank you so much for those kind words. Of course, this fight, another major coup for our exclusive global broadcaster, DAZN, who have in recent years just put together an incredible schedule.
See, that's why I don't read the comments. You guys are degenerates.
Arena with KSI last weekend to
look at Twilight.
Last weekend for Gallo Estrada to a couple of weeks' time, Canelo Alvarez against Triple G, the trilogy at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, of course, heading to a packed fall, winter, autumn schedule, and of course this event as well, broadcast.
Some of you need to grow up.
On DAZN. Joe, another milestone occasion for you in the US, but of course in the UK as well, with some huge undercard fights as well. A major event for DAZN for November 5th.
Yeah, thank you, Eddie, and thank you to everyone up on the table here today. It's great to be here with old friends and new. Thank you to our hosts in Abu Dhabi and the DCT. Dmitry, it wasn't too long ago we were toasting your success in Las Vegas late at night in your hotel room after your last win. It's great to be back working with you. And as you say, Eddie, a fantastic schedule we're building on DAZN as we go into the autumn, into the fall for our American friends. In a couple of weeks' time, obviously, Canelo and Triple G in a fantastic trilogy fight. More to come from our X series, our new venture with KSI in the world of crossover boxing, and then this fight in early November, as well as Eubank Ben, a fantastic pay-per-view event in the UK. We're about building a schedule of events globally that engages new and existing boxing fans. We're doing that with increasing regularity. We're doing that with our partners at Golden Boy. It's great to see Eric here from Los Angeles. It's great to keep it in the DAZN family, as always, with Golden Boy and Matchroom. And this event, I think, is representative of exactly what we're trying to do. A global schedule with fantastic fights, matchups happening when they should happen, and delivered with fantastic partners, of which there are many sat on this table. So we're very excited. We're looking forward to it, and it's great to be in business here in Abu Dhabi. So thank you to everyone. Look forward to November the 5th. Thank you.
Nah, that's the style. Look, see?
Thank you, Joe.
My
and
man
of course,
Twilight.
as well, one of the benefits of staging major events in the Middle East, the time zones as well. This fight going to be available at prime time, UK, and also late afternoon, early evening on East Coast as well in America. So great timing for the global audience. And as we go to the two teams, the challengers team, I feel like that's strange, Eric, because every time we do fights, I feel like I'm always on the challenger side. So we can't thank you.
Oh, shit. I didn't even know Eric Gomez was there.
The jobs of delivering great nights for our broadcast partner that we share together with DAZN. This fight, one of the best on the annual schedule. Of course, your guy, Zurdo Ramirez, former world super middleweight champion, someone that you and Oscar de la Hoya really believe in. This is a tremendous fight. You've been waiting a long time for this, and you fully back your man here in Abu Dhabi on November 5th.
Definitely, and I just want to thank everybody for being here. Mr. Salih, for having us here. Thank you so much. The hospitality has been incredible. An incredible city, beautiful city. First time here. I want to thank DAZN, Joe Markowski. Thank you for all you do. Eddie, you and your team, Frank Smith. It's always a pleasure working with you guys. I want to thank the champion, Dmitry Bivol. Thank you. Your manager, Vadim. Thank you. A professional in the sport of boxing. And this is a great fight. This is going to be an incredible fight. Both fighters are undefeated. And it's just going to be a very exciting fight. And I don't normally like to give predictions, but I'm compelled. I'm compelled to give a prediction for this fight. And I feel strongly that the winner is going to be Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi, and also the world of boxing.
A part of me wants to pick Zurdo.
These fights together.
I got a feeling in my gut.
So thank you guys very much for having us, and we look forward to November 5th. Thank you.
Thank you.
Because he can box. He's got the power, and he's not just a power puncher.
Zurdo, welcome. This fight, you've been chasing it for a long time, ordered by the WBA. We had plans for another fight. They wouldn't let us do it. We wanted to stay away from you. But you're here, you're ready, chance to become a two-division world champion. This is your moment, November 5th, to become world champion again.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for having us. Thank you for the whole hospitality. And I'm glad to be here, Abu Dhabi, first time here. And I feel like in home because in Mazatlan, where I came from, is same weather, is hot and humid. And here's, and it's perfect for me. And thank you everyone. Thank you, Matchroom. Thank you, Golden Boy. Thank you everyone for make this happen possible. And I'm looking forward to get the title November 5th to become two-time world champion. And I think it will be a great night, exciting fight for everyone. even for me, I can't wait for this fight. I've been waiting so long for this moment, and I just wanna say thank you, Bivol también to take the fight, and I think we're gonna put a great show for all the fans for Abu Dhabi, and it will be a great night. Thank you, everyone.
Who would win in the fight? The KGB, or the cartel?
So I'll just ask you, obviously, this fight has always been a great fight that people wanted to see, but obviously with Dmitri's victory over Canelo in May, the fight has become even bigger. You realise how tough the challenge is. You still feel confident of victory after
I'm picking KGB because of the technology.
As one of the best, if not the best, 175-pounder in the world.
No, he is one of the greatest, one of the best 175-pound, and he be one of the best, greatest in boxing too. And congratulations for him. It was I knew it would be a tough fight for Canelo, but it was a great night for Bivol because he beat a unanimous decision, and I mean it was great. But what can I tell you? 44 Devin trails, 44 Devin fell.
The cartel
We
don't
go
got
to
nowhere
the champion
to
and firstly
technology as the KGB.
Just going back to May, incredible. You know, we had our fun in the ring. You know, I'm a big Canelo Alvarez fan, and Frank Smith was Dimitri's promoter that evening as well. I'm back on the team, don't worry, if you still have me. But it was just, you guys felt for a long time that Dmitry Bivol was a pound-for-pound great fighter. He just needed the opportunity to show it. And that night in May, you know, he shocked the world. It may not have been a huge shock to some people, but, you know, to the wider world, it was one of the great victories. And now got to get back to focusing on Zurdo Ramirez after that incredible Canelo victory.
Thank you, Eddie. You're definitely back on the team, of course. You were never off the team because I think you believed in Dmitry the whole way from the beginning, just like the rest of us. And I mean, it's very exciting. After the Canelo fight, obviously it's a second level of motivation they have to find for, you know, any fighter that goes to that level. They have to motivate themselves to go on. And having to fight a guy like Ramirez, a fighter like Ramirez, who's very well respected, who's never lost, who's fought some of the top level guys, it's something that you have to overcome, and that's something they have to do, and you have to find something inside you to get that victory again. But I believe that Dmitry has that mentality, and I think he's always very tough and confident, and I think he will be able to do it and go on to get the other belts after this, and that's something that we look forward to as well. But other than that, I just want to appreciate everybody, because many times, you know, we fought all over the world, even with Dmitry and other fighters, and just being here one day, we already feels like home. And thank you to Abu Dhabi and everybody involved, because, you know, obviously Matchroom, who's always been with us from the beginning. Hopefully this can become a new chapter, not only for us, but for boxing overall, because I think that you know, there's always new grounds that can be found in the sport, and I think that this becoming a new area where boxing can develop and grow, and with this type of fight being the beginning, I think there's no limit to how high this can go. So I hope this works out and everybody's satisfied and we can go on and have more fighters fight here. Okay, think about this: prime Soviet super soldier era KGB versus prime Pablo Escobar cartel. Who wins? Let me know in the comments.
So I know you have a new challenge to focus on now, but that was an incredible night. Of course, the biggest of your career so far. I know you don't celebrate and party too hard, but you must have had a great time with your family, and now you have to focus on what may be the toughest fight of your career so far in Zurdo Ramirez, 44-0, a great opponent, and time for you to defend your championship belt here in Abu Dhabi.
First of all, hello everyone. Thank you for coming. And yes, maybe it's one of the toughest fights in my career. I'm thinking like that every time before my fights, only that I can be in focus. And I want to say thank you, Eddie, Matchroom, and Mr. Saleh, and the Ministry of Sport, Abu Dhabi, everyone who wanna make this fight. I'm glad to make fight. I'm glad to defend my title in Abu Dhabi. I heard that this is first time when someone defend the title, world champion title in Abu Dhabi. It's great. It's great to be first in everywhere, I think. and I hope it's not last time in Abu Dhabi when somebody will defend or get the title. And thank you, Ramirez, for this fight. And I know he wanted this fight a long time, me too. And now it will happen. And I'm glad. He's a good fighter. And I like challenges. And I like to fight against the guy who has 44 fights, who's bigger than me, who's taller. And this is a big challenge for me. And I hope it will be a great night on November 5th. Thank you.
See, the cartel, they're unpredictable.
Dmitrii, obviously, a lot of people know how tough this fight is for you, but they still talk about the Canelo rematch, the Beterbiev undisputed. This is a very dangerous fight for you because you must stay focused on this, because what could come after is incredible opportunities, but none of that matters right now, I guess, because you're just focused on Zurdo on November 5th.
A cartel would go to levels that the KGB wouldn't, because probably they would be too honorable. So that's what makes the cartel dangerous.
You're right. I have to be focused only on this fight. Every time when I have a fight, I'm focused only this fight. Of course, I have great plans in my head. I want to be the best fighter in the world. I want to get more belts. But now I have a big fight against good fighter. Of course, it's a little bit bothering me that I have to fight after this fight against Canelo, against Beterbiev, against everyone. And sometimes you feel you won against another all fighters. But I try to be focused only on November 5th.
Thank you, Dmitrii. An incredible fight between two great undefeated fighters here in Abu Dhabi. Etihad Arena, November 5th, live and exclusive on DAZN. Again, we can't thank you so much to the DCT, Abu Dhabi, Visit Abu Dhabi, His Excellency as well. This is about bringing huge elite sport to Abu Dhabi, but it's also about growing the sport of boxing in this country as well. We're going to be putting plans together to make sure that this sport is being built from the ground up, grassroots participation levels. I even see a few scars on the knuckles as well from yourself in the gym. Maybe we'll have you in a fight in a couple of months, maybe against, I don't know, a YouTuber or something like that. We'll see. We'll have to see what happens. But on a serious note, you know, life is about having fun. Life is about enjoying yourself. We love to work with people who we can build long-term partnerships with, relationships with, who we can deliver outstanding events for, and we can change the face of sport in their country. We look forward to doing that in Abu Dhabi over the next few years. Wherever you are, November 5th, don't forget Etihad Arena. Ticket information across Matchroom Boxing, across Visit Abu Dhabi. And if you can't be there, watch live globally on DAZN. This is a start of an incredible journey. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you for a groundbreaking night on November 5th. Thank you.
All right, we're going to watch the fighters. We're going to watch the fighters face off. And the question was, it was a question that was on my mind, but basically I was asking who would win between the prime Soviet era super soldier nuclear KGB versus prime Pablo Escobar Escobar cartel. Look at that height difference. Zurdo just looks huge against Dmitry Bivol. Bivol is listed at 6 foot. Zurdo was listed on BoxRec as at 6'2.5", and that's about right. And Eddie Hearn is a legit 6'4". No, 6'5". Like Eddie Hearn just towers over everyone. But yeah, make sure you take your time out, like the video, subscribe. On the undercard, you're going to have Joe Cordina versus Shavkat Rakhimov. Remember, he's the guy that got the draw against Jojo Diaz a couple of years ago, and it was basically a lot of people felt that Jojo Diaz lost that fight. He had lost his belt on the scales as well. Also, it's not officially confirmed yet. Oh, they got to have the money man pose with him. Also, it's not officially confirmed yet, but Jessica McCaskill versus Chantel Cameroon is supposed to be on the card as well. So that's 3 fights right there. I'm guessing we're waiting for one more to top out the main card. It's going to be on November the 5th in Abu Dhabi on the DAZN. A lot of fans wanted it to be in the States, but, you know, the Abu Dhabi, they throwing the money down. You know, I will not be surprised if both of these fighters are going to be making at least, like, I won't be surprised if they're both making at least $5 million apiece. It might be as high as $10 million apiece, because that's how they've been throwing money around over there in the Middle East, because they're trying to build it up, as they talked about, and we talked about before the press conference started. You know, they're trying to build Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and, you know, Saudi Arabia up as like sporting, you know, like venues. Look at all these people. Look, Eddie don't know what the hell's going on. So they're throwing a lot of money around. They're trying to get like big, you know, there was some rumors, I don't know if they're true, but they're even trying to, you know, like stage like basketball games over there in the future. You know, basketball beyond borders and shit. Bivol's belts are right there. Well, remember, Bivol only has one belt. Oh, is this like the Prince's sons? All these high school kids just lined up with the fighters. This must be the Prince's kids, the money man's children. But I really, really like this fight, though. You know, Bivol is overall, I'm going to say, the better skilled fighter. But Gilberto Ramirez, he can box. He can box, like he can fight, and he's got that power. So he's not just a, you know, pressure fighting power puncher. But you know what goes against him, against Zurdo, in my opinion? He struggled against Jesse Hart that first fight. You know, he struggled against Jesse Hart that first fight. But we've seen with Dmitry Bivol is that he don't have that extra gear. So there's a high chance, you know, that could, you know, Zurdo do enough with his size and boxing ability to offset that. Because if you look at it, if you look at Bivol's record, 20-0 with 11 KOs. Let me do it this way. If you look at his record, he went to decision with like the distance with these guys: Solomov, Craig, Richards, Castillo, you know, Joe Smith Jr., Jordan Pascal, Chilemba, Sullivan, Barrera. He did stop Barrera, but these are guys that Zurdo would definitely stop. Like, definitely stop all of them. And Bivol could have possibly stopped them, but he won't go that extra gear. It's just that Zurdo doesn't have enough on his resume. This is by far the best opponent of his career, by far. And if you look at his resume, can you look at it and be like, oh shit, you know, the Sullivan Barrera and Yuniesi Gonzalez fight was too late. You know, both of those fights were 3 years too late, in my opinion, at least 3 years. Alfonso Lopez, Tommy Carpenter, Jesse Hart, Romer Mengula. Okay, nice solid win, you know, like going forward. Habib Ahmed, Jesse Hart, Bursak, Arthur Abraham. That fight was a little too late. Like, it's not really Maxim Vaslov. It's not nothing there. You know? But a part of me, though, you know, a part of me wants to pick Zurdo. Because I think that this is one of those fights where Bivol, where he don't turn it up, that maybe, you know, Zurdo could be taking some early rounds. You know, maybe the first half of the fight and then try to turn it on too late. And then we're going to be sitting here talking about in the post-fight and other media members about like, damn, you know, like we always said he didn't have that sense of urgency. That's how I think that Bivol can lose, by not having that sense of urgency. My personal opinion, though. But we're going to be here. Is Jesse Hart fighting David Benavidez? That's a good question. I've been hearing. I only heard like one little rumor of that. But, you know, from my understanding, it was supposed to be David Benavidez versus David Morale coming up next. Miguel Yar says Zurdo is the first Mexican in championship bout in Dubai. It's not in Dubai. It's in Abu Dhabi. But I'm guessing you know what you mean. See, if Bivol beats Zurdo, he's going to beat him from a boxing lesson. But Zurdo is going to be the hardest puncher that he's ever faced. I don't consider Canelo a big puncher at 175. You know how if you're playing like a video game, I know on UFC, for example, I'm a big UFC player on PS5. So you know how like they'll have like welterweight Conor McGregor, lightweight Conor McGregor, but then if you fighting that 170-pound Conor McGregor, his power is like depleted, you know. That's kind of, I don't know, it's a video game reference, but the point I'm trying to make is Canelo at like power at 175, you know, a Vodka Belly Kovalev, who was on what, like, you know, roll like within like 3 months, 2 significant fights. Vodka Belly Kovalev? You know, I don't really, you know, if somebody, you know, how can I say it? I'm not saying he won't be able to knock anyone out at 175 pounds. I just didn't feel that the Kovalev showed me like, oh, his power carried up. Kind of like Miguel Cotto's power at 154, and then that little bullshit run at 160 was all smoke and mirrors. You see what I'm saying? Just not really, you know. But we do have a lot to talk about, but just not now. I am going to be back later today with a stream. I didn't do it yesterday. It's a lot going on. So I'm trying to get this whole fight week schedule taken care of, because remember, this Sunday on PBC on Fox pay-per-view, we have Luis Ortiz versus Andy Ruiz. It's a Sunday night fight, but then next week is Savannah Marshall versus Clarissa Shields. Then the week after that, it's Canelo versus Golovkin 3. Then the week after that, Shakur Stevenson versus Robson Konsakow. So it's a very, very busy stretch. The end of the month is kind of, I forgot what the fight is for the last week of the month. But then October, we start off again with a bang, you know, and then roll straight into the holidays, like with significant boxing, you know, and we're still waiting. This is supposed to be the danger zone that we're in. This week of going into Labor Day and after is where, like, if Spence Crawford don't get announced, then it's probably not going to happen in November. So that is approaching. So we should start really, really hearing some things. And the last, you know, rumored issue that was holding up the fight is Crawford wants a guarantee and doesn't want to rely on back end money. And I can understand that, because he was making something like around $4 million guaranteed from Top Rank, something like that. You know, just not even fighting on pay-per-view. But, you know, PBC will do that to you. They do have that reputation of, you know, okay, we'll give you 1 million. I'm not saying these are the accurate numbers. We'll give you 1 million, 1.5 guaranteed, and then go out there and sell this yourself, champ. But that back end money won't kick in until a pay-per-view does a certain amount of pay-per-view buys. For example, the rumor was that Floyd Mayweather, he was guaranteed 32 or something million each fight, around that amount, for his fights on Showtime during that Showtime deal. But the back end money didn't kick in until he did over 1 million buys. So, for example, what would be the back end money? Where would it kick in for Spence Crawford? It's like, all right, listen, we'll give you this. Both of you guys, you know, you both get 3 million apiece, you know, or let's just throw out some numbers. Spence, you're going to get 4, you the A side. Crawford, you're going to get 3. That's guaranteed. But once this pay-per-view does over 500,000, then you get kickback from that. But what's their number? What do they feel like this fight's going to do? Now, me personally, I don't feel that Spence versus Crawford is a million pay-per-view buy fight. I have a hard time believing that it'll do 800,000, because that's what Canelo Plant did. And especially when, you know, it's near the holidays and we are in a legitimate recession, you know, gas prices, and you're having pay-per-views every month. If I was to, like, say a prediction for Spence Crawford pay-per-view buys right now, 600, 650. And if it did that, I'm like, oh, shit. I don't know. But I don't see that being an 800,000 pay-per-view buy fight. Just my personal opinion. So listen, let me get up out of here. Remember to take your time out, like the video since you're here. That'd be great. This Saturday, we're going to be streaming during the main event of Andy Ruiz versus Luis Ortiz. So if you ain't doing shit, you want to hear me, do some commentary on the fight. I also show legal brief highlights. So if you watch people who watch my streams know how I do it. So we're going to be here streaming during that. Next week, I can't wait for Clarissa Shields versus Savannah Marshall because somebody's mouth going to finally be shut the fuck up. And then Canelo versus Golovkin 3. I'm starting to get a sick feeling in my stomach. And I'm in the gym 5-6 days a week. I'm grass fed. I'm on a diet. Like I'm clear-headed. But I'm starting to get a sick feeling in my gut that Golovkin gonna do it. I'm starting to think Golovkin gonna do it. Sometimes I'll be laying in bed and I'll be thinking like, I think Golovkin gonna beat that motherfucker, man. Sometimes I'll be sitting there, like prepping my little food, cutting my peppers and onions, and I'd be like, yo, like Golovkin, he probably gonna be able to do it. But I don't know. I'm not ready to say it yet. I'm not comfortable yet. I'm not ready to say it. But don't be surprised if during Canelo versus Golovkin fight week, I'm just gonna spit it out. I'm gonna be like, yo, Golovkin gonna do it. He gonna do it this time. I know David Colon says you bugging. No, man, I didn't say it. I'm just, see, that's why they say men don't share their feelings. Because I'm sitting here talking to you. That's why they say men don't share their feelings. I'm sitting there telling you my deep inner boxing thoughts. And y'all judging me and shit. Now I don't want to tell y'all nothing no more. See, look, I'm already getting judged. But yeah, check me out on the Fight View 360 Boxing Podcast. So basically, if you want to listen to this stuff in radio form, as you can see, my sound quality has gotten better over the last few months. Also, I have to make sure I'm still working on my lighting. But overall, check me out on the Fight View 360 Boxing Podcast. Follow me on Twitter at T Street Controversy, and all the links to my social media are down below in the description box. There is going to be a stream again today on all boxing news that's been going on, because I haven't really done a wrap up and talk about all subjects in the stream in about a week and a half. So we're going to try to get one out today between 6 and 8 p.m. And then normally the schedule is on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at 6 p.m. But we got media events coming up that's been popping up. So I'm trying to, make sure I don't burn myself out. So thanks for watching. Leave a like before you go. I'm T Street Controversy with Fight